The Yorubas are sending a strong message to Igbos and Hausas and other tribes in Nigeria that Nigeria must go conservative. Look at what happened with the Trump election into power. Republicans were saying American jobs for Americans, American opportunities for Americans. They frowned against illegal migration, that is conservatism. Now, copying that trend, looking at how Trump campaigned, saying that he wants to make America great again, somebody came out and said, make Yoruba land great again. That means Yoruba should take over their facilities, take over their opportunities, take over their jobs in every southwest state. Every other person should go and focus on their region. This is one of the best comments on Twitter I've ever seen. From Are Kurumi Kakamfo, he says, congratulations to the 47th United States of America president. His name Donald Trump. Land, civilization, and heritage must be defended at all costs. Conservatives on the march, make Yoruba land great again. These guys are pushing an agenda which may have been something they were dreaming for a very long time. After Nigeria has invested in the southwest, especially Lagos, they want to now turn around and say, okay, we are going to take over all these facilities. Let Yorubas take the top stage, occupy every of these ministries, whether it's the central bank, whether it's government parastatals, whether it's the international airport, whether it's any federal government facility. Conservatives need to take over. And that's a good message to my Igbo brothers and our Hausa Fulani counterparts. Everybody needs to focus on conservatism. Little do these people know that where they are moving towards is division and balkanization of Nigeria. You can't be conservative in Nigeria that has a constitution that demands that anybody can live anywhere and reside and is free to exercise its fundamental human rights anywhere in Nigeria. So if everybody will be agreeing to this line of thought from these Yoruba Ronus and conservatives, it is going to be a very good one. I've been campaigning for changing of this system, whichever way it goes. Okay, does this Yoruba people think that when they start protecting their land and heritage and taking their jobs and pushing every other person out, do they think that they will still remain in one Nigeria? That's the question. Don't they think that without oil, no state in Nigeria can pay salaries? Oil determines the inflation. Oil determines the, you see, Nigeria is so indebted. During Buhari, he had to use oil to pay for debt. He had to use oil to borrow money so as to stabilize the country. So if some people believe that they are in one Lagos, and because of the IGR they get, the fact that so many people are in Lagos from all walks of lives, almost every state is represented in Lagos. The population in Lagos makes Lagos a mega city. The fact that it is not only the indigenes that are in Lagos that are the ones responsible for the commercial activities makes it a mega city. When you look at every other state in the southwest, you see that the development is not there, the industry is not there. Why Ogun State is what it is today is because of the proximity between it and Lagos. So most people are living in Lagos and also they are in Ogun State. That's why you are seeing that development, that investment. And Ogun State has a lot of land, space, and they are friendly to industrialists. But when you look at Ondo or Osun, Ibadan also has some other people. When you have only indigenes occupying a city, it can never be called a mega city. Any mega city in the world, mega bubbling city in the world, it accommodates people from all walks of life. And if this Yoruba Ronu and conservative want to copy the template of the United States, Donald Trump says, make America, not make Germans, Indians, Arab Americans, Muslim Americans, Hispanics, Indian Americans. He's not saying make Indians in America will be conservative. because sometimes I want to talk about this because I believe these Yoruba Runus and conservatives are not intelligent. They are clever by half, by their thought process. They think that they can pull the conservatism up in a Nigeria that is combined by the 1999 constitution. In Nigeria, that because Tinubu is in power, they are pushing narratives. Tinubu has highest 8 years. After 8 years, somebody else will come and change the narrative. And that their conservatism that they are pushing would make no sense when a Fulani person, a core Fulani person comes and make sure that life is difficult. Make sure that he takes all the parastatals from Lagos and fix in the places like NNPC is supposed to be in the Niger Delta. Most of these agricultural companies should be in the places that it is supposed to be. The gas companies should be in the Southeast because that's where you get the gas. But everything is being focused in Lagos, and these people think that because they have all these things and there are people who have opportunity to work in all these companies, they have arrived. You have arrived because you see Lagos prospering. Why don't you use Ekiti as an example? Why don't you use Ondo State or Osun State as an example? Everything is Lagos, Lagos. It's very good. Let's be pushing for conservatism until we get to a point whereby you have divided Nigeria, and this is what the Igbos want. And this is what I want. Let the Yoruba Runus continue to push for conservatism that will divide Nigeria and make everybody face their home. But there's one thing I'm assuring the Yorubas that are pushing for our land, our civilization, our heritage, our jobs, our markets must be occupied by Yorubas. When the Niger Delta starts their own, their oil, every state, every community that the government is lifting any natural resources, the people there must claim it. Everybody needs to be conservative also with their natural resources. And when people start leaving Lagos to other places, let's see how Lagos will start bragging. When the population is no more there, let us see how Lagos will start bragging that it is this and that and this and that in the scheme of things in Nigeria. Just that these conservatives, these Yoruba Runu, they are myopic. Because Tinubu is president, they're just blabbling and saying anything anyhow. I advise my Igbo brothers, for the meantime, you are intelligent, you are resourceful, you are ingenious, you're a genius. Think on how you can take resources to the Southeast and make it a better place. If you can start with your street, we have hundreds of billionaires that are Igbos. If you can start with your street and build a tech hub, build something that will benefit, whether it is infrastructure, hospitals, empower your schools so that it can attract investors from outside the country. Try as much as you can to develop the Southeast. Don't say you want to build a house in Lagos, you want to do this. See, it is going to get to a point in time that you become slaves in another person's land. You see, when these billionaires have money, their thinking faculty of preserving their own people will be blocked. They now start thinking like foolish people. Because I hate it when somebody will say Ndi Murego. You have money. There's no cultural village that depicts. Go to Randall House in Lagos and see how the Yoruba culture, the Yoruba history is being. When you enter there, the public learn about the Yoruba history extensively. It's not that one you have one area. You now go there and do one or two blah blah blah. Very big place sponsored by the political government in the Southwest, promoting Yoruba culture. Which of these guys, these Igbo billionaires and whoever they are, which of them are promoting the Igbo culture? The other time will be Kubana. Those guys are opportunities. I don't see them as billionaires. Those guys are opportunists. They also are here, and those that are not creative and intelligent enough to look at the future and do things. These guys are not Igbo nationalists. They are not indigenous to the Igbo. Most of their connections, they get it from Hausa, Fulani, and Yoruba. That's why they are behaving the way they are behaving. If you see an Igbo man who made his money in the Southeast, he would invest in the Southeast. Everybody is going conservative. So Igbo man, you that built Lagos, you never built Lagos. I put it forward to every Igbo man, you did not build Lagos. Nigerians built Lagos. Not only Igbo is in Lagos, there are other Nigerians. You may have contributed a lot to some of the commercial activities in Lagos. Does not mean you built Lagos, because there's a leadership. Look at Nigeria. Why can't the Igbos build Nigeria? There's a leadership that is not working in Nigeria. That's why your effort looks somehow. So you don't take the glory that say Igbos built Lagos. We bought all the houses. Which all the houses? You don't know that legislation is coming. The House of Assembly will enact in the future. Will enact a law whereby you lose that house. Look at what is happening to the name of streets. Little by little, you are losing the streets. Little by little, you are losing most of your properties to destruction because it was built somewhere. Look at what happened with the highway construction, whereby an Igbo man lost his investment. They had to remove the original plan and put it on the beach so that it can affect. And who was affected was the Igbo man. So you don't think that these people have plans for you. They want to clip your wings and make sure that you are non-existent. You are nonchalant. You are not regarded as anything or anybody in Lagos. That's what they are trying to do. This is conservatism. These guys are pushing for it, and you think that their leaders, secretly and codedly, are not doing things that will make them reclaim their land from you who thought you have houses. Don't worry. Very soon, you will see they will put up your houses. It should be your CFO. It is the governor that will determine that one. Let me not go there. So let our senses come together. Go and start building the Southeast. You that built Lagos, why can't you build the Southeast? You just like making mouth. I've said it this December. When I see any Igbo man, influential Igbo man, comes and starts spraying money and start showing forth his house, we'll make sure that we launch a media campaign against that person. It's a stupid act. Go and fence your village. Go and build roads in your village. Build industries in your village. That's when you start making. Sponsor people in education. Don't make noise. Go underground and start doing what you need to do. Your town hall meeting, your 8th grade meetings. Get there. How can we develop our community? How can we make sure our community attracts investment? That should be the thought now. Not that you come, you are going for burial, you now pack, you now be laughing, you now be drinking. Stupidity. You that made your money, when you were doing boy, you did not brag. That thing that you did that led to your making that fortune, you were so humble and you did what you needed to do. You were so focused. Why is it that because you just have a few billions, you're now all over the place as if you have achieved anything? There should be a Southeast development plan. Stakeholders in the Southeast need to come together and make sure that they fix the Southeast. I can't advise the North. They have their problems. Yorubas are now in power. Like what the Fulanis were doing under Buhari. They were going haywire. They were doing all sorts of things they can. Killings here and there. All of a sudden, when Tinubu entered, the killing stopped. The Fulani killing stopped. The threat stopped. So it is the Yoruba's turn now because Tinubu is there. They removed Lagbaja. They put another Yoruba person. You know what it is like. So everybody is going conservative. The Igbos, what are you doing to preserve your culture? Is there any go-to place, any place we can go to and say, we'll study the origin of the Igbo nation from this place? Those that have their knowledge are dying with their knowledge, with their expertise, and with the information they have. Nobody is coming together to galvanize one or two things together. Let's come together. Let's preserve and conserve our culture. And preserve, because every other person is a predator. The Fulani wants to take over you. The Yorubas want to jump over you and destroy you. The Nigerian government is against you. Why don't you come together and put your hearts together? But one thing that is sure, that one day this Yoruba knows and conservative will make a mistake and plunge the country into a crisis that will lead to everybody saying, let's go our separate ways. Because it's getting to that point. I pray they get to a point where they can change the constitution through this their conservatism. Because this Yoruba don't know the way they are moving. One day they are going to cause ethnic crisis. One day. What is pushing them will push them one day. They are going to cause ethnic crisis. And remember, when there's an ethnic crisis, people don't forget. They don't forgive. When it comes to ethnicity, one tribe against another tribe, people don't forgive and they don't forgive. This is not an individual thing. That's why Biafrans and Igbos told P2B, what you are saying for yourself and your family, you forgive, go on. That is you personally. But the Igbo nation will not forgive somebody that orchestrated him and Azikiwe. Let me call it Awolowo, Gowon and Azikiwe. These people made sure that Biafrans lost a lot of souls, especially Azikiwe, a personal non grata in Igbo land. So you cannot do something to a tribe and you expect them to forget. No. So these Yoruba Ronu conservatives, one day they are going to take a step that will make the country get into another crisis. Because all these guys, they are saying conservative, we protect our land, we protect our this, the man that said Igbo must go, hashtag, we are not seeing him, he's no more. We are not seeing him anymore. He thought it's that easy to just be so conservative, you just say one thing, Igbo must go in Lagos, and you think that you are not intelligent, you are not smart enough, or you are not knowledgeable enough that the 1999 Constitution does not give you powers to say a particular tribe will go. You are not knowledgeable enough. That's why I don't rate APC supporters, Yoruba Runu, and some conservatives. It is good to be a conservative Yoruba. Protect your land, protect your culture. It is good to be a Yoruba conservative. Protect your land, your culture, your heritage. It is good. But understand this, the ecosystem, the society that you are in. Understand that there is a constitution that makes you not to infringe on the rights of another Nigerian, whether that person is Igbo, Hausa, or Fulani. But these people, they just do things without being sensible with what they are saying. I love this move, and it's my prayer that these people will move and make sure that they implement some of these policies in Lagos and Southwest states, whereby they will send some people back home, and it becomes a clash between tribes and ethnic groups. That everybody will now start thinking, coming out to take actions on how they are going to revisit the unity of Nigeria, as explained by Awolowo, which he said is a mere geographical expression. So this is going to help us come to our senses that we need to push for a different ideal and ideology that will separate us to be in our states, in our regions, or in our different nations. So this is what we are asking for, and we pray that every Yoruba conservative will join these people, this bandwagon. Many people are becoming, yes, they are alive. Let it not keep on deceiving themselves. The other time I heard the Northerner said we should separate. I know they are hypocritical. The religion and the politics in the North will never make the North move forward. That practice of religion is something that will never make them take the next step. Look at what Boko Haram represents against Western civilization, whether it is in the evil practice or not. The North, the political system, the feudal system of government in the North will not make the North prosper, as it were. But until everybody goes their separate ways, then people will come to their senses. The politicians in Igbo land and whoever is in the Yoruba land, or they will make sure that they want to put their country, if it is divided, everybody will make sure that they preserve their country and make it better because of the competition that will emanate from there. You defend your land, you defend your culture, defend your heritage. If these people want to do Sharia in the North, they can go on with Sharia. If it's going to help them develop, it should help them. If the Yorubas wants to continue with the Emilio Khan style of politics and Baba Sokwe style of politics, they should continue in that way. If it's going to help them. If the Igbos continue to do Unzobu, and this, we don't have leader, we don't do this, let them continue. So everybody must see for themselves how they can develop their culture, that it will become an envy of Africa and the world. So the Yorubas conservative, keep on what you are doing. The message is clear. We understand your message. We know where you are moving towards, and we are supporting you 100%. Continue your conservatism. Many Igbos should have to leave the fact that they want to die in Lagos, die in the southwest, and go back to the southeast and make sure that they do something very important. They do something very, very... See, some people, until they are pushed before they know what they need to do, they might be just there thinking that it's normal until something happens. And I pray that something should happen so that the eyes of people open. What they need to do, they'll start doing it. The places they need to go and develop, they'll start developing it. So all these people that you think that the Southwest are sleeping, they will allow you with your... Look at, with all the investment Nigeria invested in Lagos, they are coming out to claim it as our own. So all your investment in Southwest, just be very careful. If these Yoruba, Ronu and conservatives don't run mad one day, and they will bill you and tax you to the extent whereby you will regret having that investment in that land. You regret not thinking back home, thinking on how you can help your people. The Southeast is lacking in so many things, and you say, Ndi Bongo Madu. Ndi Bongo Madu, where are the Madu? Where are they? You have somebody and in the Southeast region, just like that, and Igbos don't have anybody. Until we see progress and development in the Southeast, then we can now agree to the fact that Igbos have people.